Secrets of the Silent Witch. Secrets of the Silent Witch. I came across this manga a couple of times and it took me a while to get into it just because a lot of the intro is a lot of reading. So it's a bit much when you first open up this manga and try to get into the world. It's a lot of reading, a lot of world building. You just got to get through that part before you even get to what's going on in this whole part. Once you get past that, you realize it's an actual interesting story with our silent witch. It's interesting in the sense of she's relatable to anyone who has that social anxiety, stage fright, whatever it may be, but hers is severe. Like, if she does not know you, she's going to stutter and freeze up. She can't even say hello, good morning, thank you. It's really bad. Anyone who has these kind of social anxieties understand it's not something you conscientious do. Like, obviously you're not conscientious doing it, but like, you want to try so badly to overcome it, and it's just so difficult to do. In your brain, you can come up with the scenarios, you can work it out a million times and be like, I'm confident, I can do this. I can say hello, I can say thank you, I can apologize. But then when time comes to it, you're like, you just freeze up, right? You just can't even do it. Poor Monica. I adore her. She's so freaking adorable. You get that secondhand embarrassment from some things that she does. And sometimes you just want to be like, see it, get it out, smack her in the back for the worst to come out, right? And the funny bit of it all is the fact that her great talent comes. I don't think it would matter, honestly, whether she was the silent witch who could do incantations in silent, or she would just study a lot and just became like a really powerful witch. Regardless, the silent part is creative and it's interesting. It wasn't like that she just wanted to be quiet in order to say incantations because it was a sign that she's powerful. This poor child is just so anxious and so scared to speak that this is why she came up with this ability, is one of the few to not have to say it out loud because she's just saying it in her mind. Even her past, where her anxiety even becomes worse because of an interaction with a friend that ends up going very south really quickly, and that just feeds into her anxiety to be friends with anyone because now she's anxious about any little thing she does, because now she doesn't know if what she's doing, saying, or acting on is just going to make people look at her the same way, thinking that she's arrogant, that she's full of herself, and she's just pretending to be this weak, meek person, and she's just not. There's so many characters in here that are interesting, you want to know more about, from her friends to her cat, which is her familiar, one of her comrades in the Seven Sages, who you want to think he's kind of like a big brother type, but this guy is just kind of big brother-ish, father-ish bully. You would see him more as a big brother to her, more like the way that he kind of bullies her and gets her to do things. And it's just funny how she continuously shows to be better than him. Like, he tries his hardest to just be like, it took me this long to do this, and she'll just be like, in 5 minutes she figured out how to rewrite his whole entire spell incantation, and he's just like, something that took me like months took you minutes. In the manga, his character comes off a little bit more mean. Funny how the anime somehow found a way to make him more warm, even though they didn't change anything about him. If you're reading the manga, you feel like his character is a little more mean. He does sound like he's mocking her, especially when she stutters. His familiar seems to appear more warm in the anime than in the manga. I feel in the manga she's a little bit more cold and stern and has more of a strong presence. In the anime, she seems to just be a little bit more warm, funny, a little bit more of that more comedy aspect of her in that monotone, cold, familiar type of way. Now, I did mention this previously in another video because when I watched it at that time, I had to stop watching and record the video of how upset I was of the choice in the voice actors for English, specifically for one of the characters, Cyril. Cyril needed to have a deep voice. He did not need to sound like this nerdy-ish, geeky type voice. It just did not fit, and it was cringe to watch. I'm not gonna go too much into that. You can go watch that other video because it's more of a instant raw moment for me to just like hop on and complain about that. So yeah, Monica is a good example of a character that is strong, doesn't overdo it, and doesn't show it too much. She definitely hides it well. Epitome of that, she has different spells all the time. We're not watching the same ones too often, other than that one dominant spell of hers that seems to come in handy for her. She does have a lot of tricks up her sleeve, and she's not this one-trick pony. We're always reminded of how intelligent she is, and she can figure things out pretty quickly, especially when it comes to numbers. That is her jam right there, is the number game and calculations. She gets absolutely enveloped in that world of numbers. I still think the manga is a little bit better just because of some scenes are a little bit more in depth, particularly when it comes to one of the scenes with her friend, and it just would have been good if they added it in because it shows more of their friendship progressing. In the anime, they don't show too much of her getting close to this friend. It just kind of like happens. You would have liked to see that scene of her. It's not too long. They could have added it in, particularly the scene with her going to get a hair comb, and she runs into her friend and asks her to go with her to the shop. Even though she went by herself originally, it's just still because she's shy and she doesn't know if the other girl really did want to go with her, was just being nice. It's when the other character jumps into this other like village kid who ends up getting into the school later on. You know, we needed to see that scene also more in depth than we did. So I feel like there are some parts that the animators are cutting out from the manga, which I believe should have been left in. The prince is a major fanboy of the Silent Witch. He doesn't know Monica is a Silent Witch. Even though there's a lot of hints being dropped that Monica and him are potentially going to be the love interest, it's not what I get. I didn't get it also from the manga. You feel it's more Monica and Cyril that are going to end up together. He definitely has a soft spot for her more than he does for other characters. You can kind of see where their relationship is going to develop and where it's going to go from that point on. It does seem like an odd pairing, but the prince and Monica doesn't seem like it's going to be a thing. It just seems he's more of a fanboy. Also in the manga, they try to make it seem like he does fall for her and does have some kind of feelings for her. It isn't something I particularly feel is going to happen. He's gonna still be confusing those emotions for his fanboying. I think it's more also like he's obsessed with the magic part of that and of who she is, because obviously she is the Silent Witch. He's just gonna be more interested in the magic of her and what she can do, not so much her as a person. And I think the difference with that and Cyril is that Cyril is going to like Monica for Monica. They come from similar backgrounds in how they were treated poorly as children growing up, and they had to prove themselves in order to overcome those challenges. And they're still constantly proving themselves, even though society looks at them as the bottom of the totem pole. I also feel they're a good match for each other because of Monica needing that excess mana and Cyril having excess amounts of it. So I think it's a good match that she can always absorb that extra mana from him, since she needs a lot of it when she's casting spells. And he has so much of it because he just keeps on collecting it and generating it. And he even needs that device in order to control his mana absorption, or else he can lose control and potentially die from it, right? So that's another reason I think they would be like a pretty good match for one another. The fact that he always wants to support her, help her out, even though he yells at her quite often, like a stern sergeant to his underling. It's so funny how like their relationship can go back and forth from those different levels that eventually the emotions can go into more of a romantic one. Whereas the prince is a little too much. It just makes it feel like it's not going to happen because it's too much. I cannot wait to see what happens in season 2 with all the things that need to get unraveled between the prince, Silent Witch, other characters. There is so much to get through that season 2 is going to be quite an interesting one. And they do a lovely job with a lot of the magic aspects in this anime, especially with like the music that they chose for when Monica is casting her spells and when the enchantments come out and she can read them. It's really breathtaking. It really is. I even have like that original soundtrack with that saved so that I can listen to it when I'm writing. So yeah, let me know what you think. Did you read the manga and then watch the anime, and what do you think?